Everyone, our next theorem is a theorem. This is the first theorem in unit second. Statement is let fz be an analytic function in a region D, and suppose that this fz is equal to 0 at all the points of an arc PQ lying inside D. Then we have to prove this fz is equal to 0 throughout the region D. So this is our region D, and we have an arc PQ on which this given function fz, which is analytic in D, at each point of this PQ fz has value 0, means at every point of PQ fz gives value 0. So proof is choosing any point z naught on the arc PQ, then fz is analytic at the point z is equal to z naught, because fz is given to us analytic in the whole region D. So it is also analytic at the point z naught. If it is analytic at a point z naught, then we can consider a neighborhood around the point z naught such that we can write the Taylor series expansion for the given function fz about that point. So fz can be written as summation n is equal to 0 to infinity fn at the point z naught divided by n factorial. This represents the derivative, nth derivative of the function at the point z naught into z minus z naught ki power n. This can be again written as summation n is equal to 0 to infinity an into z minus z naught ki power n, and here this an is equal to f and z naught divided by n factorial. Since this z naught lies on PQ and we have property for this, that is fz is equal to 0 for each point of this arc PQ, and this point z naught is also lies on the arc PQ, so the value of f at the point z naught is equal to 0. This implies f z naught is equal to 0, f dash z equals to 0, and each and every derivative of this function fz at the point z naught becomes 0. Therefore, from the equation second, we get fz is equal to summation n is equal to 0 to infinity an z minus z naught ki power n equals to 0 for all z belongs to C. दिस इम्प्लाइज एफ जेड इज इक्वल टू 0 फॉर ऑल जेड बिलोंग्स टू सी. मीन्स यहाँ से हमारे पास क्या आ गया कि एफ जेड इज इक्वल टू 0 फॉर ऑल बिलोंग्स टू सी, एंड दिस सी is something like dense subset of the domain, and if is function has a 0 value at the dense subset of a given region, then function is 0 throughout the domain. Or we can also repeat this process for each point, then we get function is equal to 0 throughout the domain D. And also we can prove this. We have a property that this is the region D, and this is any arc PQ at which this we can consider this point z naught, and fz is analytic in D, and fz analytic function has a property that zeros of analytic function are isolated. Means we can isolated means if z naught is a 0 of analytic function, then at that point we can make a neighborhood such that in this neighborhood there is no other point which will become 0 of that function. So if this point lies on the curve, and if we consider the neighborhood for this, then all these points, however small neighborhood it is, it always consists infinitely many points of the curve, and each point of the curve given to us 0 of the analytic function. So in this case this z naught cannot be a isolated 0. अगर आइसोलेटेड 0 नहीं है, then we can say this fz is not analytic. या तो एफ जेड एनालिटिक ही नहीं होगा, अगर हमें कंडीशन गिवन है कि एफ जेड एनालिटिक है, तो वो किस केस में हो सकता है, सिर्फ कि एफ जेड हमारा क्या होगा 0 फंक्शन, तो ये सिर्फ उसी केस में पॉसिबल है. तो इसका सेकंड वे भी हो सकता है अगर आप करना चाहें तो, कि कोई भी डोमेन लेंगे हम एक, और इस तरह से कोई आर्क लेंगे पी क्यू, यहाँ पे जेड नोट हमारा कोई एफ जेड नोट पे 0 है. फर्स्ट कंडीशन ये है. सेकेंड कंडीशन हमें क्या गिवन है, एफ जेड एनालिटिक भी है. तो यहाँ से हम ये दिखा देंगे कि z नोट इज नोट एन आइसोलेटेड 0 फॉर दिस फंक्शन, and it is for analytic function, it is possible only when fz is equals to 0, मीन्स fz is a 0 function. नेक्स्ट थ्योरम है हमारी, वो है let f1z and f2z be analytic in a domain D and suppose that f1 is equal to f2 on some arc pq in the domain D. Prove that f1z is equal to f2z for all z belongs to D. इसके लिए हम क्या करेंगे, प्रूफ कैसे होगा इसका कि f1z हमारे पास क्या गिवन है, f1z इज एनालिटिक in D and f2z is also analytic in D. Then we can define a function f1z minus f2z. Both are analytic at a domain in this region D, so their difference is also analytic. This implies fz is analytic in D. fz is analytic function in D, and we know f1 is equal to f2 for all z belongs to pq. This implies this fz is equal to 0 for all z belongs to pq. So we have a function fz which is analytic in D and whose value 0 for each point of the arc pq. So by previous theorem we can say this fz is 0 for all z belongs to D, कि वो थ्रू आउट डोमेन क्या हो जाएगा 0. This implies f1z minus f2z equals to 0 for all z belongs to the domain. This implies f1z is equal to f2z for all z belongs to D. नेक्स्ट है हमारे पास स्टैंडर्ड मेथड ऑफ कंटिन्यूएशन. तो यहाँ पे हम किसी फंक्शन की क्या करेंगे, किसी फंक्शन के कोरस्पोंडिंग एक सेकंड फंक्शन हम निकालेंगे जो क्या होगा, उसका एनालिटिक कंटिन्यूएशन होगा बाय यूजिंग द पावर सीरीज मेथड. तो इस केस में हम करने क्या वाले हैं कि जैसे हमारे पास दो डोमेन होंगी या दो रीजन होंगे जिनको हम क्या बोल लेते हैं C1 एंड C2. हमें यहाँ पे कोई पॉइंट कंसिडर करना है Z1, एंड जो f1z फंक्शन है वो क्या होगा, एनालिटिक होगा एट Z1. सो दिस f1 हैज पावर सीरीज रिप्रेजेंटेशन along z is equal to Z1. Then we have to choose a point Z2 that lies in the intersection portion. Means in this region we have to consider a second point Z2, and at that Z2 we have to find f1 Z2, f2 Z2, f1 Z2, f1 dash Z2 and f1 dash Z2. And with the help of this we can define a new function f2z which is equal to summation n is equal to 0 to infinity bn z minus z2 की power n, and this bn is equal to f1 function का nth derivative at the point z2 divided by n factorial. Because this z2 is a point of C1 as well, so each and every derivative of this function f1 at the point z not exist, so we can form a function f2z like this. So this is the new domain C2 which intersect with the our original domain, you can say C1, and such that this f1z is equal to f2z, because overall it has a power series expansion about z is equal to Z1, and this is also a power series because here the derivative involved of the function f1, so it's again a power series for the function f1z along the point z2. So in this region f1z is equal to f2z and C1 intersection C2 is some domain, you can see C, at which these values are equal. So we get f2 is analytic continuation of f1. In this method we consider three circle like this. This is f1 C1 C2, and then we consider C2 C3. So firstly we see for C1 C2, then we can consider C2 C3, or you can consider only two region as well. So the method is, let the initial function f1z be represented by a power series f1z is equal to summation n is equal to 0 to infinity a n z minus z1 की power n. This is our equation number first, where this a n is equal to nth derivative of the function, means for each value of n, a n is nth derivative of the function f1 at the point z1 divided by n factorial. Thus the series is convergent inside the circle c1. So ये जो फंक्शन f1 हमने लिया है ये क्या होगा, सीरीज के अंदर क्या होगा, कन्वर्जेंट होगा, और वो हमें किस तरह से लेनी है, सच दैट z minus z1 is equal to r1 and r1 is the radius of convergence. Now we draw a curve L. This we have give three region. This is c1, then this is c2 and this is c3. Then from this z1 we have to draw a line such that this z2 lies inside the c1 and this z3 lies inside the c3, because if we apply for the function f1 then this z2 is also a point of the domain c1, so we get each and every derivative of f1 at the point z2 and then it becomes the series again, another series representation of the original function at the point z2. Similarly we do for the c2 and c3. We draw a curve L from z1 and perform analytic continuation along this curve as follow. Take a point z2 on the line L such that this z2 lies inside the circle c1, or you can say region c1. By repeated differentiation of first, this is our first equation, that is power series representation of f1. So by the repeated differentiation of 1 we can find f1 z2, f1 dash z2, f1 double dash z2 and other higher derivative of f1 at z2. Then we have to form a function f2, and this f2 can be formed as f2 equals to summation n is equal to 0 to infinity bn z minus z to the power n. This is our equation number second, where this bn is nth derivative of the function f1 at the point z2 divided by n factorial. So this power series second is convergent inside the circle c2, and this convergence of the circle is defined as such that mod z minus z2 is equal to r2, and this r2 is the radius of convergence, and this radius of convergence comes when limit n tends to infinity bn by modulus of bn divided by 1 by n. We have two methods to find the radius of convergence, something like power series and Cauchy root test. So we can find the radius of convergence from this bn, and then we take circle according to that. Also f1z is equal to f2z for all z belongs to the intersection part. Thus we get this f2z is analytic continuation of f1 from c1 to c2. Again this same process is repeated for the region c2 and c3. Next है हमारे पास natural boundary. As we already seen, the boundary is a natural boundary beyond which the further extension of a function is not exist. Means the analytic extension does not exist further beyond that boundary. So such type of boundary is called natural boundary. So natural boundary is a boundary of the domain where analytic continuation is saturated. Saturated means further we cannot extend that function analytically beyond the domain, beyond the boundary. So such type of boundary is called natural boundary. Now we have example first. So that the circle of convergence of the series summation n is equal to 0 to infinity z raised to power n factorial is a natural boundary. Means for this given series we have to find a natural boundary, and that natural boundary is nothing but the circle of convergence. So fz is summation n is equal to 0 to infinity z raised to power n factorial. This can be written as a and z. Here a and z is equal to z raised to power n factorial. So firstly we have to find the radius of convergence. Limit n tends to infinity a n upon n plus 1, and then finally we get limit n tends to infinity 1 upon z into z minus n into n factorial, and this tends to infinity for mod z less than 1. So this final limit a n upon a n plus 1 is, if this is tending towards infinity, so it's greater than 1, but in what region? That region is mod z less than 1. So this series is convergent for mod z less than 1. Thus the given series is convergent inside the circle whose boundary is mod z is equal to 1. Means this series is convergent inside the unit circle. So now consider fz is equal to, we separate this given term into two parts. First, from n is equal to 0 to q and z raised to power n factorial plus summation n is equal to q plus 1 to infinity z raised to power n factorial. हमारे पास जैसे ये सर्कल ऑफ कन्वर्जेंस हमारे पास क्या आ गई, मोड जेड लेस देन 1, मोड जेड लेस देन 1. तो ये हमारे पास होता है यूनिट सर्कल. मीन्स इस बात की हमारे पास गारंटी है कि जो गिवन सीरीज है वो इस डिस्क के हर पॉइंट पे, अगर ओपन डिस्क हम कंसिडर करें बाउंड्री को छोड़ के, हर पॉइंट पे क्या है, कन्वर्जेंट है. अब हमें क्या दिखाना है कि ये जो बाउंड्री है मोड जेड इज इक्वल टू 1, ये क्या है, नेचुरल बाउंड्री है. तो एनालिटिक कंटिन्यूएशन के लिए हमें क्या चाहिए होता है कि कोई एक ऐसी डोमेन जो इसके साथ कॉमन रीजन रखे और वो दो कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई करे, तो हमें एनालिटिक कंटिन्यूएशन मिलती है. तो अगर ये नेचुरल बाउंड्री है तो हमें शो क्या करना है कि अगर कोई भी, अगर रीजन से C2 अगर इंटरसेक्ट करता है इस बाउंड्री के साथ, तो यहाँ पे एक हमें पॉइंट मिल जाएगा, पॉइंट ऑफ सिंगुलरिटी. तो कोई भी अगर रीजन जैसे ही बाउंड्री को क्रॉस करेगा तो बाउंड्री का हमें बाउंड्री के कोरस्पॉन्डिंग कोई ना कोई एक ऐसा पॉइंट जरूर मिल जाएगा जो क्या हो जाएगा, पॉइंट ऑफ सिंगुलरिटी. तो हम इस डोमेन को क्या बोल देंगे, नेचुरल डोमेन, नेचुरल बाउंड्री. So now we divide this original function in two parts, one from n is equal to 0 to q and another from n is equal to q plus 1 to infinity. The function is same, that should be z raised to power n factorial. So it can be written as f1z is equal to f2z. This is our notation. Now let p be any point z is equal to r exponential of 2 pi iota p divided by q factorial, that is lying outside the circle of convergence. Means we consider this point outside the unit circle where p and q are integer and this r is greater than 1. This r is greater than 1, that's why this point is lying outside the domain. Let us now examine the behavior of fz as p tends to move towards the circle of convergence. So we have z raised to power n factorial and this z is equal to is this, so we are taking power n factorial. So r raised to power n factorial exponential, this is the power e की power iota theta की power n is equal to e की power iota n theta. So it can be written as 2 pi iota p divided by n factorial into q factorial, and we have to choose q such that n factorial by q factorial is an integer. So z raised to power n factorial is equal to r raised to power n factorial, and the exponential of 2 pi iota p q factorial divided by n factorial divided by q factorial is equal to 1. Because n factorial and q factorial belongs to integer, then this this term will become cos 2 pi multiple of cos 2 pi plus iota sin multiple of 2 pi. That term will become 0 and it gives you 1 only. So finally we get z raised to power n factorial is equal to r raised to power n factorial. So now discuss separately f1 and f2. So f1z is equal to summation is equal to 0 to q and z n factorial is equal to r n factorial corresponding to the point p. So this f1z is nothing but a polynomial of degree q factorial and it tends to a unique limit as r tends to 1. Also the second function f2z, it has an infinite number of terms, that is n is equal to q plus 1 to infinity r raised to power n factorial. It tends to infinity as r tends to 1. So overall the function fz, which is the sum of f1 and f2, tends to a infinite limit. So thus the point P is a point of singularity for the overall function fz, because for the f2 part we get a singularity going towards infinity as r tends to 1. Thus the point z is equal to exponential of 2 pi iota p upon q factorial lies on the boundary of mod z is equal to 1, because here we take z r is equal to 1, and this mod z e की power iota theta modulus value is always equal to 1. So this is lies on the boundary. So if we getting any domain or region, you can say C2, which intersect with the domain of unit circle, then we always get a point of this type, and this is the point of singularity. That's why we say this boundary mod z is equal to 1 is natural boundary.